guys, and welcome to I Want My Angst TV Reviews. I'm Sarah. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, ring that bell, thumbs up this video, and comment along as we discuss the Amazon Prime original, The Wilds. Going into my review of The Wilds, this is going to be spoiler free because there's so much that goes on in this show. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. The Wilds is a story brought to you by Sarah Stryker, and it's actually an original YA story. I know, what a concept. It's not based on anything. The Wilds tells the story of 8 young girls headed off to Hawaii on a female retreat called the Dawn of Eve. However, things don't go as planned and they end up stranded on an island in the middle of nowhere. I like to compare this show to Lost meets Lord of the Flies, but with girls.
The most important thing is, who knows we're here?
The story is told in present time and flashbacks. So while the girls are on the island, we learn each backstory about why they even went on this retreat in the first place. What I really liked was that each flashback into each individual girl's life shows us the effects of short-term and long-term trauma in regards to mental health. And each girl has their own almost stereotypical story, but not. It's told in such a good way that you don't look at these girls and look down upon them. Maybe at first, not gonna lie, I just point that to Leah. But in the end, you understand where they're coming from, you're rooting for them, and you're hoping for a happy ending. Every episode of this show ended with the biggest cliffhanger that left me like, what? No. Shut up. I knew it. Seriously, give me a season 2. If I don't get a season 2, I'm going to be very upset, Amazon.
Could I have it? Could I have it?
Something else I liked is that the name of the show honestly gives nothing away. It's called The Wilds. Now, when I hear The Wilds, I think like wild animals, a forest, something wild. And you're met with these kind of basic girls that are not wild. You have Dot and Shelby, who are both students at the same school in Texas. You have Martha and Tony, who are best friends from back in home. Leah doesn't know anyone. Fatten doesn't know anyone. And then you have the twin sisters, where one is like headed to the Olympics as a diver and the other one is on the spectrum and super smart and like quirky. None of these girls are wild, so to speak, but we get to see their journey into becoming the Wilds.
That was the real living hell.
I thought all of the actresses did a phenomenal job. Even the most annoying to the most fun and adventurous to the most outdoorsy was done perfectly. I honestly cannot complain about a single actor in the show. And the girl who I thought, which is Fatten, that I thought would actually be my least favorite is my favorite. And Leah, the girl I thought might be my favorite because I kind of understood her, is my least favorite. So I think there is a person out of these 8 girls that everyone can relate to and everyone can cling on to and hopefully learn from in a way.
Teach me.
The entire story is told in present day and flashbacks through the eyes of each girl. And each flashback story into their lives gives us a full picture of who these girls are and why they chose to go on this retreat in the first place. And then the story on the island as it unfolds, yes, there's drama, yes, there's trauma. But in the end, we see how these girls work together and work through things. Now the question becomes, are they there on purpose? Was it really an accident? And as you can see from the trailer, it wasn't.
Sometimes I feel guilty that we lied to her.
You did that to save her.
The writing in the show is so good. Every girl on the island has a strength. All of them have some basic knowledge of CPR. A couple of them know how to distill seawater and turn it into drinking water. So as the story unfolds, you realize that each girl was a piece of the puzzle specifically chosen for this experiment.
It had to be you.
I feel like everyone's had that conversation, right? If I was stranded on a desert island, what would I want with me? And everyone's like, my radio, my this. But after watching these girls, I really think that I would just want a lighter and a toothbrush and some snacks. As you see the girls on the island and you learn about them through flashbacks, you get to see their entire character arc from who they were to who they become on the island to then who they become once they are off the island. And because you get to experience that entire journey with them, where they end up leaves you wanting more and to learn more and see what happens with these girls as this journey progresses.
So, I lost my job.
One more episode?
I threw out the comparison of Lord of the Flies because that's kids who get stranded on an island, form their own union home of sorts, but it was all boys. And to see the difference between the way boys handle things and girls handle things just kind of goes to show how different we are. Something that gets said in the show, and I don't think this is a spoiler at all. Gretchen is going over a speech and she says when power is handed off between men, there's usually a fight, a war, or a battle of some kind, whether it's with soldiers or with each other. When the power gets transferred with these group of girls, it's basically because Dot is burnt out. She's tired of being the leader and telling everyone what to do just because she knows how to survive. And she just throws the lighter at one of the other girls and says, I'm burnt out, take over, like it's nothing. There's no pig heads, there's no making fun of anybody. And there's multiple examples of that on this show, where you see the girls pushing each other to be better, stronger, smarter, where they don't think they can do it. You know, being on an island, we all saw with Castaway, Tom Hanks loses his mind and becomes a best friend with a volleyball, right? So on this island, while they're all a little going stir crazy and losing their minds, they still just support each other and know they need each other just to get through this, to hopefully get rescued. This story resonated with me because I feel like as a woman, any woman can do anything, and I will push that on you. But when it comes to men, I feel like there's a lot more judgment and way more competition and not as much support. So seeing this experiment go down and following it how I feel it would work if women ran the world. Full justification on that for me. Overall, I really liked The Wilds, and I cannot wait for a season 2. Please give me a season 2. Even though I can compare it to a couple other things, it really isn't those shows or books or movies. It is its own thing. And I really enjoyed the way the story was told and how it unfolded. I thought the acting was fantastic, the writing is incredibly strong, and I love that this is very much an original story that kept me guessing the whole way through. I can see this show going for quite a few seasons. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Sarah. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, thumbs up this video, and comment and let me know what you thought of The Wilds. And ring that bell so you don't miss any more angsty videos. Bye!